It's the same thing in the same way all the time. Nothing changes, all these faces keeping their mind closed. Oh, it's the same days to give away, finding things to say, and go to a place, a space to dream away, just for one day. At the same time, in a different place, in a different way, in a daydream where we all seem to change our minds. Hours to same days to give away, finding things to say, and go to a place, a space to dream away, just for one day. It's the same thing in the same way all the time.
Sunlight dances on the balcony as I wait for thee to come home. I fumble my words, yeah, my mind's a mess when you're in that dress. Glad you're home. Will you stay with me and never leave? You walked into my life and I am glad you came, glad you came. When you're not around I've been broken. Glad you came, glad you came. I was lost till I fell in your eyes, had me wondering why I feel like home. I hold you close so you're by my side till the end of time before we go. Will you stay with me, never leave? You walked into my life and I am glad you came, glad you came.